Welcome to Nurse Burnout Solutions, the show that empowers you to beat stress, reclaim your energy, and discover lasting fulfillment in your nursing career. I'm your host, Betty McLean. I'm a nurse with over 20 years of experience, and I'm also a certified life and certified burnout coach. I'm here to share expert insights with you, a lot of practical tools, and some inspiring stories. So join me as we navigate the challenges of a career in healthcare, and I help you find renewed purpose and resiliency, one episode at a time. Hi, friends. Welcome back. We are going to talk for the next few episodes about the symptoms of burnout. I know that's why you found the podcast and why you keep coming back. So buckle up. We're going to talk about it. Today, specifically, we're going to talk about exhaustion, which is a super fun topic. Or not, but we're going to talk about it because it's important. It shows up for a lot of us. We have that tired that just is kind of bone deep. I'm always tired, even if I slept 8 hours. I'm not emotionally resilient. I'm kind of emotionally exhausted. And the first thing we're going to do is talk about how to key into your body and understand what your body might be asking for. And then we're going to talk about what else you need to be looking at if you are feeling this exhaustion. So if your go-to thought is, oh my gosh, I'm so tired. Somebody asks you, how are you doing? Oh, I'm so tired. Or you get to the end of the day and you're like, I just need to crash. Or you are just literally dragging yourself through a shift, looking at the clock, constantly thinking, I need to leave. I need to leave. I need this shift to be done. I can't get through it. You are probably one of those nurses who is surviving on coffee or, pick your poison, whatever energy drink you are inclined to pick up, right? You're probably reaching for snacks to keep yourself alert if you are dealing with a lot of physical exhaustion. And when you're physically exhausted, not only does your body feel heavy, you might be getting more headaches, muscle aches. You might even be dealing with like starting to have chronic colds, flus, because when we are physically exhausted, our immune system eventually goes down too, right? And this can be frustrating because when people are in this level of burnout, you may still love your job. You may still mentally understand that you are important and that your job is important and that you know, are adding value to the world, but you feel like there's nothing left in you to give, right? You are exhausted. You are empty. And sometimes we want to write it off as, well, maybe I'm just getting older. Maybe I'm just stressed, right? It's just burnout, quote unquote. But the thing is, when you are at this level of exhaustion where you are needing constant caffeine intake to function, to keep your brain even slightly focused, your nervous system is waving a red flag. And your body is telling you something needs to change, especially if you are starting to experience a lot of colds, flus. Like if you are one of those people that get run down easily, catch the colds that run around, your body is saying, we're done. I can't keep functioning at this pace. So unfortunately, the cycle that people get stuck in here is that the you are pushing, pushing, pushing all day long. It's get up and go. Get the kids to school, make sure you get your coffee and your caffeine, maybe run through the drive-through, get to your shift. You know, shift, of course, is crazy, and you are just taking moments to grab whatever food or fuel you can find. You are drinking more caffeine as the day goes on. Maybe you're great about drinking water, maybe you're not, right? But when you are in this place of push, 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 it can be very difficult to slow down and think about, what does my body actually need in order to start to function better. So, we're going to talk about box breathing as a way to connect to your body and start getting curious about what you need to heal from burnout. Because for everybody, the recovery is going to look a little different. Maybe your burnout is more in your mind and you need to understand boundaries and stress management more. Maybe you are in your mid 40s and your body's changing and you need hormone support and you need the physical support that comes with giving your body proper nutrients and fuel and proper medicine in order to function so that your brain has space, right? So everybody's going to be different, but using box breathing as a way to center in for just a moment gives you space to start to think about, what do I need in order to keep functioning, which is so important as nurses and as busy people who care about other people so deeply. We often don't stop and think about, what do I need? But really, that should be our primary question. That should be the question that we're asking, because if we can't take care of ourselves, we're not going to be taking care of our patients well. We're not going to be taking care of our children well, our friends, our family. If we are so exhausted that we can't think straight, we're not doing anyone any good. And the beautiful thing is, you can be functioning really, really well. You can have energy, you can have mental clarity, but we need to stop and ask ourselves, what do we need? So, box breathing is that moment where you stop and you focus in on yourself. And it is very simple. It is literally breathe in, hold, breathe out, hold. And for most people, a count of four is going to be what feels comfortable. For some people, especially if you're someone who does yoga or does breath work, you might hold to a count of six or maybe even longer. But if you are someone who is very stressed and you are very tight and you're very exhausted, a count of four might be too long. So the important thing when you're doing box breathing is that all sides of the box that you're creating are even. So if you cannot hold for a count of four, then you're not going to breathe in for a count of four. So it would be count of three. In, two, three, hold, two, three, out, exhale, two, three, hold, two, three. Again, any count is fine as long as it's even. So, count of four, breathe in, hold that full breath for a count of four, breathe out for a count of four, and then hold that empty lung for a count of four. You're going to do this anywhere from 2 to 10 times. Maybe you are at the nurse's station and you have a moment before the next call light goes off. You're going to do this. Maybe you're going to do it 4 or 5 times, right? Maybe you are in your car and you are dreading getting out of your car and heading into work. Do this 2 or 3 times. When you're at home and your mind will not slow down, and you're trying to go to sleep maybe, and your mind will not shut down, do this until you come out of your head and into your body. Once you are slowed down mentally, because you're counting, you're focusing on counting, creating that box, right? So your mind has to slow down a little bit in order to focus on counting and holding your breath and all of that. Once you're slowed down and you're in your body, you are going to ask yourself with all curiosity and all love, what do I need right now? Not from a place of judgment, not from a place of, well, what do I need? I need another cup of coffee. But really with genuine love and curiosity, as if you were sitting down with your best friend in the whole world and they say, I'm just exhausted. I can't keep this up. You would not tell your best friend, you just need another cup of coffee. You're fine. This is just a season of life you're in. Get over yourself, right? You'd say, what do you need? How can I help? That's what you're going to offer yourself. Once you slow down, get into your body, you're just going to ask, what do you need? And it might be your body says, I need more sleep. I cannot keep functioning on 4 hours a night. I can't keep functioning on sleeping for an hour, waking up, going back to sleep for an hour, waking back up. I can't do it. Maybe your body says, I need some protein, girl. I can't eat another donut and drink another cup of coffee. I need proper nutrition, right? Whatever your body tells you. Maybe your body wants quick sugar right now. Maybe you have been in a calorie deficit and you've been only eating salad and chicken breast. And your body's like, well, what I really want is a bowl of ice cream, right? You get to decide if you honor your body's request. And if it is something that's maybe a little more complex, like, you know what? I need better sleep. It might not be I can fix this for you right now, right? If your body says, I need water, I need a glass of water. All you've had today is is 3 cups of coffee and a Red Bull. It might be something that you can fix very easily, but it also might be more complex. Fixing your sleep cycle, it can be a very complex problem. There are basic things you can do to start sleeping better, like improving your sleep hygiene. But there are also complex things that you might need to do. You might need to see someone like my friend Nicole Smith. She's a nurse practitioner who specializes in perimenopause and hormonal changes. And sometimes that really messes with people's sleep. So it might be something really complex. But again, the idea of box breathing is simply slowing down and asking your body, look, I see that you're tired. How can I help? And if you are not someone who is used to doing this kind of work of like tuning into what your body needs, this might be a little challenging. But the more you practice it, the easier it will get. If you are someone who has experienced a lot of trauma in your life, it can be very scary for your brain to look at what's going on inside your body. So if you're someone who doesn't feel your emotions or connect with your body well, that's not a problem. You can look for support, like with a therapist or a life coach like myself. But the other thing is just practice. Do the box breathing and then just notice what's going on in your body. Maybe your body can't answer you right now and say, hey, I need this, this, or this. But you can connect with your body and notice, where am I holding tension right now? Where do I feel exhaustion? Do I feel it in my brain? Do I feel it in my arms and legs? Like, just start to notice what is happening in your body. And then slowly your body will start to talk back and tell you what it needs. It's just a matter of learning to listen, right? So, this level of burnout, this exhaustion level, it is not it's not a death sentence. This is not the end of the line. You can definitely recover from here. It takes being honest with yourself and then getting really, really curious about how do I solve this for myself? And if when you ask yourself, like, how do I fix this? Your brain's like, I have no idea. First of all, you probably do have some ideas, but it's easier for your brain just to say, I don't know, because answering you get, coming up with a solution is going to take more work. And so you're going to have to dig deep, right? But for a lot of people, this stage really is helpful to have a coach because as you are trying to implement better sleep, as you are trying to create better emotional boundaries, right? Creating better sleep, honestly, often comes with establishing better boundaries for yourself with the people in your life, and also with yourself, like a boundary of when you put your phone down at night, you don't pick it back up. Those kind of habits and boundary setting sometimes are, you may have an idea of how to do it and you may be able to implement that on your own. But if you're already at this stage in burnout, having a coach in your corner can make it, first of all, just feel better because you're supported, but also it can make it a lot faster to implement these changes. So if you are feeling stuck, you know that you cannot continue with this level of exhaustion in your life. And especially as we are heading into, like, it's start of school year right now. As I'm recording this, it's September, and the end of the year might have a lot going on. And if you're already exhausted, you may be looking at the next couple of months and being like overwhelmed. Having a coach in your corner can make a world of difference as you head into the the autumn months and the winter months. So if that is something that could be beneficial, but you're not really sure like what that entails, just go to my website, bettymclean.com. That's Betty, Betty, McLean, MCLEAN.com. No spaces, bettymclean.com. And you can just contact me, say, hey, I'm in this stage of exhaustion and I don't know if coaching is for me or not. We can schedule a consultation. Consultation's free. And we're just going to talk about what are some things you need to implement, and do you feel like you can do that on your own? The coming out of this exhaustion, like, you probably know what you need to do. So really just supporting yourself and giving yourself some encouragement to do that box breathing, connect with your body, and then start to implement some things that you know will be beneficial. Like, you can recover on your own. This is not rocket science. This is just taking care of yourself the way you would take care of someone you love, right? So if you can do that on your own, I love and support you in that. If you have tried and failed or you are feeling overwhelmed, please let's talk about how you can support yourself, or how I can support you, or how you can get the support somewhere else to make sure that you move from exhaustion to energy, okay? From overwhelm to clarity, because that's available for you. You're not stuck where you are. You have the ability to change, and I can help you do that if you want the support. So, have a beautiful day. We will talk next week about all things burnout. So, come back next week and we will chat. Thanks for listening today to Nurse Burnout Solutions. Remember, I really believe that all stress is manageable and burnout is not inevitable. If you are struggling with stress or in burnout, I can help. Check out the show notes for ways that we can connect and get you the support that you deserve.